To another edition of Red Sox YouTube. As always, please like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below. We will chat it up with you down in the comments if you wish. Gonna talk about the Red Sox home opener. They lose game one of the 2023 season by a score of 10-9. Nick, as always, with me for this show. Are
They
you
just
just
they break our hearts, Terry, already to start our season off. Heartbroken loss.
Yeah, and Alex Cora has never won the season opener, including 2018 when we went on to win
It's true.
108 games. So that trend continues for us this year. It looked like we were out of it, and the Red Sox were rallying. Baltimore did us a couple of favors with an error and nearly gave it away. They had runners on second and third with no out in the ninth, but eventually their closer Bautista managed to get it together and
Mm-hmm.
get the save. So frustrating game, but for me, the big thing, as I discussed on yesterday's show, Corey Kluber just not certainly not an opening day starter on a major market ball club for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, and uncharacteristically, his command was off. He
Mm-hmm.
had four walks. A couple of them were late. Zach Kelly ended up taking over for him, and that's when a couple of those runs he was charged with came across. He was charged
Yep.
with 5 runs overall. But here's my thing: despite not having great command,
Mm-hmm.
he kept the Orioles at bay for a couple of innings, but after the order came through the second time, the Orioles lineup knew that nothing was going to be coming at them above
Right.
88 miles an hour, and they were just sitting on everything. They knew it was going to be off speed. They just had to guess the location
Mm-hmm.
of where it was going to be, and then they started slapping a bunch of singles mixed in with some walks, got guys on base. I just don't see how Corey Kluber is going to survive in the AL East with no velocity. It was just a ridiculous signing.
I think the best way of describing Kluber today was not sharp. I think the weather could have had something to do with it, but I hate the excuse making. I think since you've known me for a long time, I can't stand it when they say, oh, the wind, oh, the weather, oh, it's sunny, oh, it's rain. I'm done with it. You're a Major League Baseball pitcher. Figure it out. Figure it out. One of the things to Corey Kluber last year, he was in Tampa, and that's a dome. So you didn't really have to deal with these early or late March, early April games where it's friggin' cold outside. So, yeah, weather can be a factor here, but that shouldn't be an excuse. And I think we were already starting to hear a little bit of chatter after the game about, oh, it's so cold. Oh, it's windy. Oh, the poor thing can't locate his fastball from everything. We're in the year 2023. Let's figure it out. Figure it out.
There was a lot of excuses on social media from the Bluminati.
Oh, yeah.
Um, the cold weather didn't seem to be affecting Orioles pitchers. Bautista had command issues in the end. I don't know if the cold was a factor or not, but by and large, that Baltimore pitching staff pitched okay in the 30-degree weather. So, I the frustrating thing to me is just I'm just always going to come back to the signing. You
Yep.
lose Nathan Eovaldi and Michael Wacha, and all you do is you bring in Corey Kluber. And the
Mhm.
reason you bring in Kluber was because he was simply the guy who was willing to take the
Super friendly
10,
deal.
yeah, the $10 million contract that Bloom never goes above with. That's Bloomonomics 101. Take the first notable guy that's willing to sign for 10 million.
He's the dollar store general. Let's be real here. The dollar store general is exactly why my interpretation of what Heim Bloom is. Bargains by the bag full. They can play the jingle to the Christmas tree shop if they want every time he wants to sign somebody, but that's what he's looking for. And as a major market club, that's unacceptable. If you're a fan of this team, you should be outraged at the fact that you didn't bring Evaldi back, you didn't bring Waka back, and you didn't bring some of the other guys who at least could give you consistency.
1000%. 1000%. So we'll see Kluber again in the finale against the Pirates in the next series. I think that's on what, Wednesday. So we'll see there.
Hopefully it's better. Hopefully he can locate the ball and give the Red Sox a competitive outing. This was just so uncompetitive from the very first inning that they were there. I mean, they were trailing 1-0 after the top of the first inning. So you can't have that.
Absolutely not. Bullpen, major problem today. Thoughts on that?
You see my smirk, and the smirk is because what in the living hell is Ryan Brazier still a part of this team? How is this guy still a Major League Baseball player? I've been asking this question since 2019, and he's still getting the ball, and he still can't get the job done, and he still has a crooked neck. And I just can't figure out, what does this guy, what are they showing? What did they see in him?
There were metrics apparently that Heimblum liked, and Brazier's getting, I think, $2.2 million this year. And you're right. He had a good 2018. He was actually really good in 2020, but had that been a full season, probably the outcome doesn't look great. You know, his numbers probably look more in line with what we've seen in 2021, 2022. Yep. And the frustrating thing to me, though, was, why were they even in the game today? You have an off day tomorrow.
That's the thing. There's no reason for it.
You didn't have to go to Brazier and Ort, but that you could argue that was the biggest reason we lost today, was bringing those two guys in. You have an off day tomorrow. Use your better relievers to try to finally win the home opener that you haven't done since the Dombrowski era. It's frustrating. If this was like mid-June and you're in game 5 of a 14 game in a row stretch, okay, I get it. We're down by 3. You gotta pace the bullpen, and maybe you do bring in Ryan Brazier and Caleb Ort in a situation like that. But that wasn't the situation today. It just, Alex Cora
it was completely outmanaged. Completely.
Exactly. Yeah. And the other thing too, especially with Brazier on the mound, they were stealing at will. They were stealing at will. Pablo Sandoval could have stole a base on Ryan Brazier.
He sure could have. He could have rolled to second base and been safe.
It's sick. It's frustrating. I mean, Alex Cora is not like the worst manager in MLB, but he's not a game changer anymore. There's nothing Alex Cora does that makes me go, wow, that was pretty smart.
I think the luster and the love from that 2018 team is completely kind of off for Alex Cora, at least on my perspective here. We've seen last place finishes. We've seen sloppy play. We've seen, just from the past few years, we've seen runners not knowing how many outs are, or fielders not knowing how many outs are in an inning. I mean, careless mistakes under his managerial watch, which definitely should be questioned.
Absolutely. And I mean, today, there were some positive things in the lineup. Yoshida had a couple of hits. They were weird, flukish singles, but still timely.
We'll take them.
Yeah.
We'll take them.
Justin Turner, couple good at bats. Rafi Devers, couple good at bats. He kind of got screwed by the
pitch clock,
but that's going to happen, in the first couple of months. Drastic changes, but we will wrap on that. We'll be back as soon as things develop, no later than maybe early next week. But again, if something major develops, we will be back to cover it. Hope
the release of Ryan Brazier. I only hope, if there's a God.
Yeah. Take care.